everybody. We are back with another episode of the White Mountain Endurance Podcast. I am joined by Marylyn, who is the race director of the White Mountain Endurance events this season. This is actually your first season directing, Marylyn. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
How are you feeling just a few days out from your
Good.
first
Of course,
event?
nervous. Of course, nervous. But I'm really, really excited too. We have such a great crew and an event crew, a lot of amazing volunteers helping out, and then amazing runners. So it's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're just, it's Tuesday when we're recording this. We're just a few days out from our first event of the season at White Lake Ultras, coming up this Saturday morning, in White Lake State Park, and where we'll have the 24-hour, the 12-hour, and the 6-hour. This is, I think, is it the 8th running of the event?
I believe
Or
in the 8th year.
right around there, yeah. So really exciting this year. It's sold out well in advance, which is awesome to see the fields. Just super strong across all the categories. So we just wanted to overview the event, discuss some of the course, the conditions of what you can expect out there, answer any thoughts around aid station and crew, and then dive into the top contenders for the men and women in the various categories. So, I guess to kick things off, Marilyn, do you want to just describe the course that runners can expect on Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, the course, it's a beautiful course. It's a 2-mile loop around the lake, and the course hugs the lake the entire time, all the way around. And it's pretty easy, flowy. It's single track. It's pretty much packed dirt, and then you have a few little rooty sections. But it's other than that, it's very it's a pretty easy trail. And it starts off on the sand on the beach. So every time you do loop around, you will come back on the sand where the aid station is. And the conditions as of right now, the way it's been for the last couple of weeks, it was for me a couple of weeks ago. And then I did, a friend did it on Sunday, and he experienced pretty much the same situation that I did. It's Stephen, who actually is coming back. He'll be running in White Lakes again this year.
Awesome.
He experienced the same thing I did, where after the beach, when you first start to go to turn around and you cross over the boat launch area, just after that, there is a wet section, and it's pretty unavoidable. So
Yeah.
I would say plan on wet feet. I'm sure it's still going to be wet this weekend. And we're also expecting a little bit of rain on Friday and Saturday. Every day, the weather seems to change just a little slightly. When I checked again this morning, it's looking like less rain, but it still is looking like some rain. So I'm sure that section will be wet. There's a big puddle. It's kind of long.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then there's some mud there as well. So I would plan on that. The rest of the course was very dry. Even with the rain coming up on Friday and Saturday, it shouldn't be too bad. But what we do experience on this course, because it's a loop course and it's just kind of the nature of loop courses, with all of the runners continuing to run around the same loop, it probably will eventually start to get pretty muddy with so much traffic on it if it's wet. So I would say plan on wet and mud. Plan accordingly as far as, bringing extra shoes, socks, any other foot care that you need for wet feet.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, it'll definitely be a little sloppy at times, I'm sure. Really, it looks like it's gonna be warmer temperatures during the day, so that's nice, and not dropping too cold overnight either. Which in some previous editions, I feel like it's gotten pretty chilly out there at night.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like temperature wise, certainly nice for runners. I love that loop around the lake. I feel like it just has its sort of, it is still very diverse it doesn't feel like monotonous. Like,
No,
and
not at all.
there's a lot of like nice flow to it and variety. And yeah, spots where you can open it up uh, and then the twisty turny spots and the bridges, and
Yeah,
I think it just keeps
yeah,
things interesting.
yeah,
um there are some narrow spots for sure, so in terms of just with the amount of traffic, definitely be respectful of other runners out there in terms of navigating around
yeah,
people. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I think I really like it for this format. And I'm sure after 24 hours, maybe people will get a little tired of sections, but that's understandable.
Yeah, and it is so
um,
beautiful too, and a lot of sections, and it hugs the lake, so there's a lot
yeah,
you can see most of the lake. You are in the trees, but still there's a lot of sections where you can keep looking out at the lake, and then you can see the start finish area
yeah,
from across the lake, which is nice. And they do such
yeah. I
a
love
great,
the runner headlamps
but
too,
yeah,
like
when you,
at night.
yeah, and they've done such a great job at maintaining the trail and keeping the bridges, all of the bog bridges and the other bridges are all they've all been a lot of them have been fixed up and are really nice.
Awesome.
So it's all in really great shape.
Yeah, and I was also going to mention Ethan and Cody, who joined us for last year's event, produced a great video of the White Lake Ultras. So for anyone who maybe hasn't ever been there, that's a great way to see the course itself and get more visuals. Yeah, they put together a really great video that you can find on both the race website and on Aravaipa's YouTube page. So go check that out. Terms of the aid station, what are we offering? Yeah, what can runners expect?
So we have a fully stocked aid station the entire time, and we have let me tell you, let me look at my list here. So
Yeah.
we start so we kind of have a schedule throughout the event of what we put out. Starting Saturday morning, we'll have coffee, oatmeal packets, bagels, and fruit. And then once the race starts, what we put out that will be out for the entire race is various snacks like PB&J, bean roll-ups, fruit, which includes watermelon, oranges, bananas. We'll have pretzels, the Lay's stacks chips, trail mix, cookies, M&Ms, ginger snaps. We will have crystallized ginger, which is one of my favorites, which has been a savior for me in my
Yeah.
clinic on ultras. Pickles, of course, boiled potatoes, dates, and we will have electrolyte. What we will have for this event is Tailwind. We have the Mandarin Orange Tailwind for this weekend.
Nice.
And then all the various sodas, Coke, ginger ale, Mountain Dew. And then as the late morning, afternoon, evening, overnight, we have a schedule of various foods that we'll be putting out, starting with hummus, avocado, and turkey and cheese wraps, roll-ups. And then later we'll have quesadillas, grilled cheese, tomato soup. And then once we get into the evening, we'll have pasta and sauce. And then a little bit later, we'll bring out the potato soup, ramen, and white rice. And then we'll move on to more grilled cheese and quesadillas. And then in the morning, we'll fire up the grill for pancakes and bacon.
Wow.
So, yeah, so
That's quite the
oh,
menu.
very good menu for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's right as you cross, the finish of the 2 mile loop under the pavilion there. And then yeah, I guess for runners in their own personal aid stations or crew, that'll just be right beyond our aid station on their left, along the sort of border of the beach right there. And yeah, so you really don't have to add any extra steps to your day to get to the aid station or your own crew. Yeah, anything else you can share about crew details and yeah, what runners should look for there?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is a really nice setup because every time you come around the loop, you cross the timing mat, and then the aid station is right there. You go right by it, you can get whatever you need. And then just as you continue on, you can either just continue on the course and just go back, keep going out again, or you can go right by your own crew area. As you said, it'll be to the left. It's a long stretch of land that's in between the beach and the parking lot, but you run right by it. So you can stop as much as you want, stay as long as you want. Your friends, family, crew members can hang out there. There's also picnic tables on, like, actually on the beach, so it'll be up like closer to the water. So you're kind of running right
Yeah.
through it. There's picnic tables over here where your friends, family can hang out, and then your own personal aid stations will be over to the left. And there's also a playground too right there, so it's nice
Oh yeah.
if anyone has kids that they're bringing to hang out. There's plenty for them to do.
Nice. And then bathrooms, those are kind of tucked right after you cross the finish to the left. Is
Yes,
that the
we'll have
same spot?
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have porta potties set up right there, and then we'll also have a couple of porta potties set up over in the campsite as well.
Okay. Awesome. Um, well, let's see. Be great to also, yeah, maybe let's just do a run through of the weekend schedule. So starting Friday from 4 to 6 is the packet pickup or bib pickup.
Yes.
That'll be right at the pavilion there. So if you're in town or local, yeah, great opportunity to come the night before. Give yourself a little more chance to sleep in on Saturday morning. Also, a lot of people will run a lap of the course Friday afternoon. So yeah, 4 to 6 on Friday, and then what is the time frame on Saturday morning for bib pickup?
And on Saturday morning, we have bib pickup before the race. So Saturday morning will be from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then again in the afternoon before the 1 o'clock start, we'll have bib pickup from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And then again in the evening before the 7 p.m. start, we'll have bib pickup from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Awesome. And oh, we got to touch upon the Papa Beans ice cream.
Yeah.
You want to share, yeah, about that?
Yes, everybody's favorite Papa Beans ice cream will be back again at all of the races. And so when you finish the race, when we give you your finish award, we'll also give you a ticket for a free ice cream. And she'll have various flavors to choose from too. I'm not sure what they're going to be yet, but they're all amazing. So
Awesome, a nice post-race surprise. And yeah, we encourage everyone to stick around after their races, or at least if you're doing the 6 hour, 12 hour, definitely hang out for a bit. It is a beautiful spot right along the lake there. So yeah, stick around, cheer on your fellow runners, and enjoy some snacks at the aid station. And
definitely.
yeah,
And DJ Stomp will be back again too. He'll be
awesome,
playing,
nice.
yes, some awesome tunes during the day, and then in the evening we'll have music as well.
We'll have a little fire pit right there on the beach.
Fire pit, tiki torches will light up the beach. So as you do your laps at nighttime, when you come around, you'll run right through the tiki torches on the beach.
Awesome. Cool. And then, yeah, I guess any tips or advice you have after having, been event crew of this race for the past couple years? Yeah, any takeaways that you've learned or heard from participants?
Yeah, and I've also run the race too.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no, I think just definitely bring anything that you need, anything that you think you'll need. There's plenty of room to set up your own aid station, your own area, anything that you think that you might possibly need. Also, keep an eye on the weather as it gets closer, and just prepare specifically for that.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah, everybody has, different things that they like to have. If it's raining, depending on the temperatures, if it's going to be windy. So just keep an eye on that and just make sure that you just basically bring whatever you think you're going to need for those particular weather conditions. And again, as you mentioned, hanging out afterwards, make sure you bring, anything that you want to change into to keep warm. It does tend to get cooler on the beach. If it's windy, also it will be a little bit cooler. So just pack some extra warm clothes to hang out in after. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then runners also, I'm just thinking with the potential for rain, the your cars will be pretty accessible as well. So in case you don't have your own tent or something like that and you want to, keep your gear dry, it's pretty easy to also just access your car as a sort of makeshift aid station as well. Um,
For sure.
or catch a few Z's if you're doing the 24-hour and need a little nap.
Definitely. I
um,
have had people reach out to ask, if there's any rules as far as, how many times you can stop or how long. And it's not a format of like a backyard ultra. It's, once the start of the race, you just keep running laps and, you can stop as much as you want. You can, um, you can stay as long as you want. It's totally up to you. It's just you're running from, whatever the hours, the 6 hours to 12 hours to 24 hours. So there's no rules for that.
and then also for friends and family who aren't present on the day, you can follow along from afar with Aravaipa live tracking. We'll have updates every lap, every 2 miles for runners. So that's a great way to tune in from afar. We'll also be covering the event on social media, so you can find White Mountain Endurance on Instagram and look for updates there on the field. Awesome. Well, I wanted to dive into the top contenders who will be joining us this weekend. We have quite a few returnees, which is really exciting, and then also some newcomers who might be looking to turn some heads. I'll get right to it with the 24-hour field. And starting with the woman, we have both our second and third place woman from last year returning. So Melissa Anderson, who, yeah, was second in the 24-hour last year, also has lots of strong podium finishes at ultras around New England. So we're excited to have her back, as well as Elsa um, Cipriani, who is third in 2024 and also the 6-hour winner in 2023. Um, and also Olivia Sharp, who this will be her fifth time running the 24-hour, which is really exciting. Go, Olivia. She's been on the podium 4 times and also won the race back in 2023. So I'm sure she's excited for. Wow, that's got to be like a few hundred miles on that 2 mile stretch, which is pretty wild to think. And then a new name to the field, Sarah Zarnowski from New Hampshire. She has a lot of top results at New Hampshire trail races, so excited to see what she'll put up in the 24-hour. And then two other names I had were Jennifer Wynot, who has a lot of really great 100-mile results these past couple years, and a lot of experience with the shorter loops and time events at both Hamster Wheel and Frozen Yeti and Ghost Train, and excited to see what she'll do in the 24-hour, and then. M. Joe McCarthy, who has two previous finishes in the 24-hour, sixth place last year, and then I think fifth the year before that. So, yeah, solid field in the women's 24-hour. Really excited to see some of the competition there, and yeah, see how that unfolds throughout the day. I don't know if you have any other names that you want to add or comments on those.
Oh, you covered that. That's such a great field. Looking forward to seeing everyone. All of the familiar faces back.
Yeah. And yeah, for men, I'd say Michael Conley will be sort of headlining the field, stepping up from his big 12-hour victory at last year's White Lake Ultras. He's certainly no stranger to spending a lot of time on his feet, although I'd say he's much more known for his sort of technical abilities on technical terrain and especially descents. But yeah, he also can throw down on the flatter, faster stuff. He was the winner of the 6 hour back in 2023. Won the 12 hour in 2024, and now stepping up to the 24 hour. Yeah, that's going to be a really exciting race to follow. Not sure how he's feeling, but hopefully he's pumped. Yeah, Kevin McDonald, who was second in the 24 hour in 2022 and second in the 24 hour in 2021. So I'm sure he's hoping to bump up a spot in the podium and take that W in this year's race. Corin Kwasnick, who won the Mid-State Massive 100 in both 2024 and 2022, has a lot of experience in the 100-mile races with also numerous finishes at Vermont 100. Yeah, I think anyone who's coming into this race who has prior 100-mile experience, they're certainly going for 100 plus miles in this 24-hour format. And yeah, I mean, if you can easily yeah, throw it. I mean, last year's winner was, I think, 120-ish miles or so. So yeah, it'll be really exciting. And then also, yeah, Steven Blaze, who was fourth in 2022 in the 24-hour, fourth in 2023 in the 6 hour, and sixth in the 24 6 hour, I think. So he has, yeah, several finishes here at White Lakes. And then also Anthony Gasborough, who was third in 2021 in the 24-hour and fourth in 2019 in the 24-hour. So yeah, quite a few people who have experience on this course at this event. So it'll be exciting to see them. And Clark Plumer.
That's what I
Yeah.
was going to say,
Yeah,
Clark.
yeah, he was on my next page. Yeah, so third in 2024 in the 12-hour. Yeah, he really quick, a lot of leg speed. Him and Mike were throwing punches in the the 12-hour last year, and that was an awesome race.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited to see both of them move it up into the 24-hour race this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other
This is
comments?
going to be exciting. No, I can't wait to watch this all weekend and be right there. It's going to be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious strategy. I mean, I feel like with
Mhm.
24 hours, it's so long that often the top contenders, you're sort of working together to get through that, first 12 to 16 hours of the event. You're going to be sharing a lot of miles out there, so there's certainly a lot of camaraderie amongst the top participants.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so next up is the 12-hour. Yeah, I wanted to highlight a few women and men in that. So Elsa, um, Cone, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, but Elsa, who is second in the 2024 12-hour race, will be returning, which is awesome. And Ashley Euland, who was second in the 6 hour last year, also a podium finisher at Jigger Johnson. Yeah, a frequent participant of events in the White Mountain scene. So yeah, the two of them are gonna be the names to watch in the 12-hour. And I also wanted to highlight some participants, Sophie and Lucy, the Houlihan Hooligans. I love having them at different races and in the White Mountain Endurance Series and seeing them around New England. Sophie and Lucy are 10 and 8 years old. They'll be joined by their mom, Jenny. They were at last year's race as well, but yeah, they're always a friendly face and excited to support them out on the course. So yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, it's so much fun watching them. They work so hard and they are so good. And just seeing them grow over the years too.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, and I think their brother and their dad will uh be crew chiefs for the weekend. So yeah, whole family affair at White Lake Ultras. And it's certainly an event that's like well suited for that. I love the accessibility of the race and the course, how it sort of can invite everyone to be part of the event. I think there's also something special with the more remote races that are offered, but I love how, yeah, everyone can be part of this event. So in the men's 12 hour, we have Jonathan Western, who um, a newcomer to the race, but a lot of strong results around New England, including at Stonecat Trail Festival, and Eric Mata, who was fifth in the 24-hour in 2024, as well as fourth in 2023 in the 24-hour. So he'll be, stepping down to the 12-hour, and yeah, looking to put up some big miles there. And then lastly, in the 6-hour, yeah, we have a pretty solid men and women's field. On the women's side, we have Corey Hempel, who was second in the 2024 12-hour, third in I think 2021 in the 6-hour, and fourth in 2019 in the 6-hour. She'll be headlining the women's field, as well as Sarah Aponte, who I think this will be her first White Lakes, but a winner of the Stonecat Marathon in 2023. Also, really strong showing at Bandera 100K. So two regionally competitive events that, yeah, it'll be exciting to have her name in the mix. And then Sarah Canny, who lots of solid racing throughout New England over the past decade. I'm excited to see her out there. Anna Mangum, who was, I think, third last year in the 6-hour. And then also Adeline Davidson, who was seventh last year in the 6-hour. So several returners and some newcomers. Yeah, any other folks in the 6-hour you want to mention, or?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, on the men's side, um, a lot of, I think it might be all mainly new contenders, because I think a lot of our previous 6-hour top finishers are either moving up to the 12-hour or the 24-hour. But yeah, we have a lot of people with fast 50K experience. So Cole Hauser, Nikki Dupkin, a lot of, yeah, solid 50K results in that 4 to 4.5 hour range. And so that's a great sign, I think, to put up some big miles in the 6-hour. Carter Tracy, who uh, he previous finisher of the Jigger Johnson 50 miler, fourth place this past year. He, yeah, has a lot of leg speed, and I'm sure he's looking to throw down. Todd Sears, as well as Eric Lenz. And Eric, it was cool looking through his ultra sign up. He's also committed to the White Mountain Endurance Cup this season, so go Eric. And then, yeah, also highlighting Matt Landry, who is part of our crew for races this year. He'll be also running the 6-hour, so we're excited to see you out there, Matt. Yeah, really strong fields this year, and really deep fields, which is, yeah, just adds a lot of uh excitement to the event. And yeah, I think, these timed ultras are so dynamic, and there's, so much shifting that can occur between the top runners with these shorter loops. So yeah, strategically it'll be fun to see how that pans out over the day and the night. But yeah, that's those are our fields. I'm sure there's also several other names that I haven't mentioned who will be right up there in the mix. So um, yeah, I think on that note, like we mentioned, you can follow along on the Aravaipa Live tracking, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. We'll be posting updates throughout the day and night there. There are still volunteer slots if you are, local and want to come out and support, or you can just come out and support and cheer on runners, especially in the evening hours, where runners will appreciate that extra energy out there. Yeah, any other thoughts you want to add, Marilyn?
So, actually, just 2 points that I should have mentioned earlier is one is just a reminder that we have moved to a cupless race series
Yes.
starting this year. So, on Ultra Sign Up, we do include that as an add-on if you want to purchase the cup, the reusable cup. We also will have some extras on site. So at packet pickup, if you need to purchase one, we will have those
Awesome.
available for purchase. And as far as the camping goes, for those people that had purchased camping permits, we'll be giving those out at packet pickup with your bib and your shirts. And if you did not purchase one, but you would like to, you can still purchase a camping permit. There's plenty of campsites available.
Okay.
And Friday night, the park where we have the packet pickup, the park is not going to be open after we're done with packet pickup, so the park area will be closed. So if you do want to camp on Friday night, you will have to camp in the campsite. So you need to purchase a camping permit.
Okay. And so runners can they continue to do that through Ultra Sign Up until Friday or um
So I'll have to check because
yeah,
the registration closed. I'm not sure if they can still do the camping permit online, but they can definitely do it at packet on
at
site.
packet
Yeah,
pickup.
no
Awesome.
problem at all. We can just do it right then.
Great. And oh, I wanted to also maybe give a little preview of what are the awards for runners this year. I saw a great photo shared. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. So we have the margarita glasses, which everybody loves,
Yeah,
and they're super cool. And we have our new, I don't know if everyone has noticed this yet, but White Mountain Endurance, we have a new logo. So we have that new logo printed on one side, and then we have the White Lake Ultra logo, which is also new this year. We've revised that logo. That's printed on the other side. So
nice.
every finisher gets the margarita glass. And then for the podium awards, we will have paddles again, and but we have the new logos on those, the new
Awesome.
White Lake Ultras logos. So,
I love those paddles. They're
I know, so cool.
they're great. I feel like such a great hang on your mantle or, or somewhere in your house.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like yeah, White Lakes has some unique finisher and podium prizes, which I love.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for uh, running through the White Lake Ultras. We also wanted to just take the chance to highlight the rest of our calendar this year, especially with some of the races filling up quite fast. So in a little over a month, we'll have the Chikura Mountain Race to kick off the White Mountain Endurance Cup. That'll be June 7th. And you'll actually get to see the summit from the aid station at White Lakes. So it's quite a nice view of Chikura, which I love. But yeah, 23K. Um, and I think we're down to the last 20-ish spots or so. And yeah, expecting to sell out in the next week or so. So sign up soon for that one. Followed by Race the Cog on late June. Do you know the date on that, Marilyn? Is it I think the
28th. 28th.
28th? Awesome. And yeah, only 50 or so spots left in Race the Cog, so that one's also going quick. And Race the Cog, if you're not familiar, the shortest, steepest way up Mount Washington along the Cog Railway. And new in the past year is the down the round trip. But yeah, the what's the name? I love it. Yes.
Round.
So we can both race your way up to the summit and then run back down, or if you just want to go up, then you can take the cog train down. But yeah, that'll be at the end of June. And then in July we have the Bald Face Scramble, which was new last year, and I think for many people a favorite of the calendar. Just a really really special course, pretty remote feeling, and last year's race, I think with the rain and the mist, it was just had this real magical vibe to it, which I loved. And then yeah, Jigger Johnson, which last year was in July, moving to August, back to August for this summer. Spots are going pretty quickly in that as well. And so we have the 100, the 50, and the 20 miler there as part of the White Mountain Endurance Cup with the 20 mile. And then rounding out the season in September at the Kilkenny Ridge Race. So yeah, full calendar ahead. Um, yeah, the White Mountain Endurance Cup is seeing a lot of interest this year, which is really exciting. Just in terms of people who have signed up for either the pass, all 4 races, or for 3 of the 4 races. So a reminder, Chikura, Baldface, Jigger Johnson, and Kilkenny. The 4 of those races make up the White Mountain Endurance Cup. Finishers must complete 3 of the 4 events, and there's a special medal for finishers, as well as series scoring. It was, yeah, I don't know if you want to add any thoughts, Marilyn, on last year's Cup, but just added a great story to the calendar.
It did, yeah, it really did. That was such a great add on to our entire race series. And it got so many more people involved as well because it just added an extra layer of excitement. They have all the individual races, which are great. But then when they put it all into one big cup series, it just kind of added another layer of excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our calendar this year come out. Also, I think in the works are some course preview runs, which we'll have more information on later. But if you're looking to get out on any of those mountain courses, we're going to try to offer some runs in the weeks beforehand to experience them. So yeah, we are excited to see everyone this weekend at White Lakes, and get some good rest these next few days. Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. Yeah, definitely bring your rain gear. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday or Friday at the packet pickup. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of the White Mountain Endurance Podcast.
Thank you.